Welcome. Happy Friday. It's already September. Ah, well, we're headed toward the end of summer almost. After Labor Day, we're back. We had a break, but we're back. Hello, everyone. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm Becky Scott. We have, wait, who's this person? That's what
All
who are
right.
you?
Long time
We
no
have,
see.
yeah, we have Alexa back with us. She's going to be joining us soon. She's having a few technical difficulties. Crowdcast is being mean to her today and not letting her in, so she'll be with us shortly. And Lindsay's back with us
Hello.
today. And we have Trevor joining us. We have such a great bunch of things to show you today. Oh, so much going on. It's great. Right. So, how's everyone doing today?
Doing well. Yeah, I'm very happy it's Friday. It's been the longest short week ever. um,
Right.
and I do want to call out for those who celebrate Happy Star Trek Day. Um, and check out JumpCloud's social because we put out a fun post this morning. So if you're into Star Trek, you'll probably like it.
Awesome. Can't wait. I know. I've been watching I'm catching up on Strange New Worlds, and believe it or not, I have not watched the finale even though it's been out forever. I need to catch up on that. I, it has things in it that I'm not quite ready to watch. So
Space.
I'm not ready to face uh I know it has the Gorn in it, and I'm not ready to face it, so I've been putting it off. So we'll just say that.
It's
We'll leave it there.
understandable.
We'll leave it there. But yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to check it out. We've got some other things from social that Alexa's sharing today that I'm very excited about. And anything fun going on recently from anyone? We haven't had to we haven't had the chance to catch up with you, Alex. I feel like maybe you've been to a million weddings and we don't even know.
No, but you know what? I haven't. Well, I guess that's a lie. I went to a wedding like a few weeks ago, but yeah, really kind of same old over here. Nothing huge to report on. I can't even remember honestly last time I was on the ITR, which is a travesty. I think we caught up since I went on my trip. That was the wedding. And yeah, since then it's just been kind of head down in a super cool project that I'm gonna share today. So I'm really excited.
Yes, very. I went to you can't really see. I'll stand up a little bit so you can see my shirts. This is the Mavericks. The Mavericks. Okay. But anyway, really cool band out of Texas. I went to their concert last night. So
Oh,
that
awesome.
was a lot of fun. They're pretty cool.
I'll be going
Um,
first concert in a while on Monday. It's like,
Nice.
oh, I'm still alive. I can still go out. Fun.
yeah. What are you going to see? Do you want to share?
Sylvanesso. It's a little yes, but I introduced Trevor to Sylvanesso back in the day. But she's one of my favorite vocalists ever.
Awesome.
Great. Oh, I'm going to see Eddie Izzard tomorrow night. They are going to be in Raleigh, so that's very exciting. Yeah, not a ton of concerts for me, but just happened to be two this week out of not very many at all. So right, and Rob, you're right. It's not an IT hour until someone is unable to connect, and poor Urvashi is suffering the consequences today. And we're all doing Apple and Mac OS updates today. Kind of we'll talk about that during the IT news, but we're kind of forcing some updates on everyone today. So that may be part of it. So she's struggling right now. We we miss her, but hopefully she'll be back before things are done. So
I was gonna say, hopefully since Urvashi's having trouble connecting, maybe that means the demo gods will take mercy on us because we have quite a few demos going on today.
that is very true. So we have our community updates, and then Alexa is going to share her update with us, and she's going to demo something for us. And then we've got quite a few things in the product update list. I've got a number of them in there that we're going to share. And then Trevor and Lindsay are going to talk about our application catalog and all that we have going on there. And I'm really excited to see that because it sounds like there's a lot of fun stuff that we can do there. And then we'll talk IT news. So let's jump into it. In the community, under best practices, Sean put some integrating Linux devices with JumpCloud LDAP. He gave some examples there, so go check that out. And we have something where we would like to hear what you can tell us around shaping our device compliance initiative. One of our product managers is asking for your input under product discussions. Urvashi posted that, and we would like to hear what you have to say there. I'll grab that link and post it in the chat so you can go check that out. And then Hoyam has had a couple of different scripts that Urvashi has posted in the community on PowerShell script for bulk erasing devices in Mac and Windows. And we've got that in our script repository. And those are all the updates I have because the majority of them are actually around product releases. That's where all the flurry of activity has been. So I'm going to save those for the next section. Oh, Alexa, thank you for grabbing that and posting that in there. I was going to, I know you used to do that all the time, but I didn't want to make an assumption. So, what do you have for us? You've got something really cool that you've been sharing out on the socials, and
Yes.
it's looking pretty awesome. I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is start with just playing the video, and then we'll kind of get into what it is, what it means, and all that good stuff. So if you follow JumpCloud, you may have seen it. We've been blasting it far and wide on our socials. And I put it in the community and Slack lounge. But without further ado, let me go ahead and play this for us.
Mark, the IT guy. He uses JumpCloud to do computer stuff at his job.
Okay, hold on. I do more than just computer stuff. I make work happen. Anywhere people are, anytime they need a hand, really. Like Jay and Kiki, who started today. Before they fed the fur babies, I've automated their onboarding. That means they'll have access to all their logins, everything they need to make magic. Or when Travis from the dev team had to add new engineers to meet a deadline that came out of nowhere. Typical, right? I added workflow automation to give the right access to the right people right on the spot. Not to brag, but it was pretty smooth. Oh, and Allie from payroll, always forgetting her passwords. Happens to everyone, let's be real. But since I enabled single sign-on and multi-factor authentication, not only does Allie have one unified login, but I sleep like a baby knowing that access is secure. So whatever it is, whatever work looks like, I'm there making it happen. Coordinating, simplifying, connecting. It's all big picture from a single unified platform.
JumpCloud. I make work happen.
College is more than just computer stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully you kind of resonate with Mark, the IT guy. I know he makes it look a lot simpler than what I know you all do, but JumpCloud is super excited to launch this new campaign called I Make Work Happen. If Make Work Happen sounds familiar, that is, our mission at JumpCloud. We want to enable companies to make work happen, but the reality is, you all are the ones who are actually making it happen. So we want to celebrate you all and the work you do, because we all know, where there's work, there's an IT admin behind it all, making it happen. And not everyone, always recognizes or notices or appreciates. So we wanted to launch this campaign to celebrate you all and all the work that you do, to make all of our lives easier, smoother, make work happen seamlessly and securely. So just starting off by saying thank you. And hopefully, that resonated with you a little bit. Over the next few months, we are going to be sharing some exciting content to, once again, celebrate all the work that you do. And with that said, I am going to pull up the landing page that goes along with this super fun campaign. All right, Becky, you're going to have to give me once you see it.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So this is a landing page. It's got a lot of fun info. But what I really want to show you, this was the video we just watched. But this section down here. So we're looking for participation from you guys because we are running a sweepstakes through the I Make Work Happen campaign. And it's super easy to enter. And it's really just sharing how you make work happen. We're going to be doing weekly giveaways, monthly giveaways, and then we're also doing a big grand prize at the end of the campaign. So you could win $1,000, just saying. So it's very simple. Let's get started. And Becky, I might ask you to help me out here. So let's pretend Becky is making her card here. So Becky, which image would you like to select?
Let's do a different one than the one I chose last time. Let's do the cat.
All right.
I don't have an orange kitty, but let's do that one.
Excellent choice. So you have the option to select any of these images for your card. And here there is a categories that you can select from to share how you make work happen. So Becky, pick a category. How do you make work happen?
Does anyone want to tell me in the chat, or should I just, let's see, should I just pick one? Let's do, what do we want to do today? Productivity.
All right. So Becky makes productivity happen. And here, this is optional, but you have the option to share a pro tip or best practice around how you make that work happen. So Becky, is there anything you'd like to share for how you make productivity happen?
Ooh. Let's see. Magic. Oh, Brandon, I like it. Magic. Magic.
Make magic happen.
Gotta use the little thing there. Let's see. I like to make lists, make task lists so I don't forget anything.
Perfect. Ooh.
The
Another
most boring pro tip.
All right. Awesome. So this is coming from Becky Scott, who is the head of community at JumpCloud. All right. So then it's going to generate this super cool card for you. So Becky makes productivity happen. Her pro tip is she makes task lists so she doesn't forget anything. You do have the option to kind of customize this card a little bit more. So Becky, is there a color that's sitting with you?
Oh, let's do the blue. The other blue. The other
Maybe.
one. Yeah, there we go.
Awesome. So then you can just download your card right here. It'll pop up for you and you can just have it, share it. But you do have the option to move further along in this process. You can enter the drawing. So Becky, let's run through you. You actually can't win. Sorry, but.
Wah, wah, wah.
All
but
right.
y'all can, and lots of great prizes. Make sure you enter.
Yeah. So Becky's going to submit her entry. Awesome.
Boop, boop.
Yeah. And then it takes you right back here. You can, once again, if you forgot to download it, download your card, and then super easy you can share to any of the platforms that you share content on. Every unique share on a platform is a unique entry, so you can actually enter up to 8 times per week. So super cool. We're really excited to launch this. Hope you all share a pro tip card. Honestly, it's a little bit of a humble brag because you guys do amazing work and the world should know. So we're, once again, super, super excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what you all put out there. And looking forward, I'm hoping some IT Hour folks win because you guys are loyal. So
Yeah, it's very exciting, and the card creation thing is really cool. So, and you can do as many as you want without entering, if you just want to do them for fun and play around. But definitely feel free to share, and you can share in the IT hour in Slack if you want to as well. We'd love to see your creativity, but please keep it safe for work. If you're gonna share in the Slack lounge, you can make what you want and keep it for yourself, but, if you're gonna share it on social, please keep it somewhat work safe.
Good call out.
I think most of this crowd has they've always been work safe, so I think we're okay, but, yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
Alright. So
Maybe I don't know if you had the chance to share the link out, but if not, I will go ahead and drop that in so you all can start to make those.
oh, yeah, that would be helpful. I forgot to grab the link that we had in the document. Yes, go forth and create.
We'll tell you what we can do. Super cool. Boom. I make work happen.
Woohoo! Click the button below our faces. There you go. Those task lists can get pretty NSFW. That is true. All right, so product releases and announcements. Boy, do we have some stuff for you. You know that we've been talking about dynamic groups, and we've had Derek on here to demo it. If you haven't seen the news, it is generally available. Woohoo! And Derek posted on the community about it. So if you have, been out of pocket and haven't heard about it already, go check it out because it's awesome. It's super helpful, and you should be using it if you're not already. Let me grab that and drop the info in here because you need to go read that and see what dynamic groups is all about. Great automation to help you put both devices and users in groups automatically. Highly, highly recommend. Go check it out. We have had a demo on here before, so I won't go into a lot about that, but we had some betas on that, and now everyone can go check it out. Okay, some more. Sam posted about email notifications of expiring or invalid M365 Azure AD Directory Sync tokens are back. You'll receive token expiring warning emails daily starting 7 days before an M365 Azure AD or Entra Cloud Directory Sync integration token is set to expire, and you'll receive an error email when the token has become invalid. So you can go check that out as well. And two more really important ones. Remote Assist now has Control-Alt-Delete and user switching features. So this is really cool. So when you are using Remote Assist, you can send the Control-Alt-Delete command from the admin toolbar, and it'll facilitate transmitting this sequence over a remote session to facilitate key system interactions. And in addition to that, you can switch between different user accounts on Windows and Mac OS during remote sessions. So if you're in one account and you need to switch over, you can do a silent assist session and switch user profiles. So those are really important and helpful features. But one of the ones that I'm excited about all of these. Okay, don't get me wrong, but I'm super duper excited because JumpCloud Go is live and available, and Scott posted about it on the community, and you probably saw my really excited post on the community that was flailing arms and everything. JumpCloud Go is live, and if you haven't read anything and checked it out, Alexa, can you grab the link for Scott's post really quick? If you haven't heard us talking about this yet, then I don't know where you've been. You should have already heard about it. No, I'm joking. It's a hardware protected and phishing resistant passwordless login method, and it allows users to have seamless access to JumpCloud protected web resources from managed devices. It is supported on macOS and Windows and integrates with device biometric authenticators, so Apple Touch ID or Windows Hello. We are already using this internally, and it saves so much time. Because all I have to do is go boop instead of having to type in my password a million times a day. It's great. It's super exciting to have this available. It's going to be on, but not till next month. So we're going to have a whole feel about it. He'll demo it and everything, but you're welcome to go check it out now and see what he has to say about it. So that is all I have right now, but I don't want to take up any more time because Lindsey and Trevor have some cool things to talk about and demo. And we'll, throw some salt over our shoulder or sacrifice some chickens or something. So the demo gods will play nicely with us.
Yes, and I do have a deck to just set some context, set the tone, and then I'm going to hand the reins over to Trevor. Trevor's the one that needs the demo fairy dust on him here shortly. Let me see. Are we seeing what we should be seeing? Awesome.
We are.
All right. So I want to start out just by saying I don't know, Trevor, have you been on IT Hour before?
I have not. Long-time listener, first time host.
Yes. So I've been here, but a quick intro. Director of product for our directory. So directory meaning all of our ecosystem. That includes our directory integrations, our application integrations, which we're going to talk about today, and user management in general. So lots of passion, but I'm really happy to have one of my team members here with me today, Trevor, he's kind of we have him officially owning core directory management, but he's kind of a jack of all trades for our directory space, a Swiss Army knife in our directory space. So yeah, we're excited to show you today a few things. I wanted to talk about kind of how the work we're doing feeds into this JumpCloud open directory platform that we talk about, and specifically how that open directory platform enables an automated lifecycle with the use of strong integrations. And by strong integrations, a lot of that comes down to this SSO app integrations, as well as the identity management configurations on those. Then we'll jump into demos, and if we have time, we have some fun facts just to spur some conversation, maybe. I don't know. So at JumpCloud, we are focused on providing secure, frictionless access to any resource from any location from that trusted device. It's kind of our mantra here, and that all really starts with having a modern identity that is well managed. And when I say modern identity, again, this is a digital identity. It tends to be transient because people move, grow, change. They get married, they move departments, they get promoted, etc. And that's all. Having a well-informed identity is really fundamental to providing the right connections to the right resources, the right levels of access, and governing that in kind of real time. So I think you've probably seen some of these before. The Open Directory helps provide for this by really allowing for the consumption, the sourcing of identities from anywhere. You've heard Sam talk about this, I'm sure, on multiple occasions. AD is one of those places we spoke about recently. We also have our directory integrations, and HRIS has been a big area of investment for us. And You centralize the management in JumpCloud so that you can then provision them downstream to either directly manage JumpCloud resources, or in many cases, again, integrations with applications, directories, infrastructure. And so when we think about how to automate that life cycle, really there's automation that kind of comes out of the box with JumpCloud at every phase of that life cycle. So creation, like I said, integrations with those upstream directories, HR systems, or JumpCloud. JumpCloud can stand as a directory on its own. It doesn't require any alternate source of truth, but it can be nice if you have an HR department to integrate with those upstream identity sources and have those automatically create users in your JumpCloud. Then you've got to authorize those users to the right resources. And Becky mentioned dynamic groups just went GA, and dynamic groups makes this magic. I've been here for a long time at JumpCloud. I have been waiting for years to see dynamic groups come out, because I think it really adds, it's a force multiplier, particularly in combination with our identity management integrations. So think about all the applications you have in your catalog. And if you have identity management set up on those, then as soon as that user automatically, dynamically gets added to a user group that's associated with one of these integrations or 12 of these integrations, boom, 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 boom. Those accounts are created in those downstream apps automatically. And that user has access as soon as they have valid JumpCloud credentials, right? And then you think about how this life cycle stays relevant, and that really comes back to that user is going to move and shift. And so having those changes flow into JumpCloud if they are being updated somewhere else in fairly real time, and then having that dynamic group automatically adjust that access level. And then those integrations either add new resources because, hey, you moved into a new department and you might need access to a couple of new tools, or remove, right? So we help you clean up, and we help you ensure that those accounts are deprovisioned on those resources. So this is the dry context. I think the exciting stuff that I'm going to hand over the screen to Trevor to share is we've made enhancements in our integration space. And this is because our integrations are really powerful. Our integrations are really powerful, and they can be kind of confusing to navigate. So we've made some changes there, and I'm excited to stop sharing so Trevor can start sharing.
Awesome. Thank you, Lindsay. All right, I am going to share my screen. While I'm doing that, Lindsay said, my name's Trevor. It's super cool to be on with you all today as a speaker. I'm product manager at JumpCloud. You may know me from some of my previous JumpCloud hits, like being able to add a manager to a user and the scheduled activation email. I live in Nashville, located out in Nashville, Tennessee. 2 dogs as of recently. Had 1 dog for a while, now have 2. Yeah, and enough about me. Let's see some magic. So hopefully you're going to see a lot of what was incorporated into the campaign that Alexa showed earlier, and some of that magic we've been talking about in real life and a live demo. So there's no tricks going on, no funny business. You're going to see this all happen live, and I'm going to shake my fist at those demo gods and dare them to smite me. Cool. So we are in our friendly neighborhood JumpCloud admin portal. The first thing you're going to notice, you may have seen this if you were in admin portal yesterday, we have a little bit of a change in our nav bar, very small change here. SSO is now SSO applications. So call out here, don't get lost. It's in the same place it's been. We just messed with the name just a little bit to make it a little bit more clear what's going on here. So cool, got it, thank you. Let's jump in. So not a lot of changes here. You're still seeing your existing app catalog, or your app library rather, with your configured applications. However, when I go to add a new application, you're going to see something a little bit new. So if you haven't, again, if you were in Admin Portal yesterday, if you created an application, you probably already seen this, but if this is your first time seeing this, this is our new app catalog and app creation experience. So the first thing you're going to see is several of our most popular and powerful integrations we have. You can drop this list down and look at some more. Also, search from our catalog, like always, of near 900 pre-built integrations, many of which have identity management, JIT provisioning, almost all of which have single sign-on. So this is the app catalog you know and love. Just made everything a bit easier to find and get to. With that being said, here comes the real juicy part. So I kind of want to walk you through what this app creation experience looks like. Of course, you can pick from our app catalog, but if you're not finding exactly what you're looking for in the app catalog or our featured apps, you can always create a custom application. So you create this custom app. We're going to let you know all the powerful, cool things this does, namely single sign-on with both OIDC and with SAML, depending on what protocol your service provider is supporting. Of course, we also have the ability to do user import and export, and we can do that with either SCIM 1.0 or 2.0, and we can also integrate with a custom REST API. So even if the service provider doesn't provide SCIM, as long as they have a custom REST API, we can integrate with that API, which is really freaking cool, I think. So basically any application that has an API, we should be able to integrate them to be able to import users from that API or export them down to that service provider if they do support SCIM. And then finally, you can, of course, create a URL bookmark as well, just to be able to redirect your users to that application without single sign-on. So we have a custom app. From here, we're going to ask you what you want to do. I'm going to say I want to have a SAML application. I'm probably going to want to import and export users. So I'm going to move forward here. We can give this app a name. Description, of course. We can upload a logo. We can decide whether or not we want to show it in user portal. We save that app. That app's saved, and now I'm all ready to come over here and configure that application. Awesome. However, we are going to do the live configuration here, and let's set up one of our featured apps. Let's set up a Google integration so my users can easily jump over and get into their Gmail, Drive, etc. So we're going to set up a Google Workspace integration. We'll keep the default values. We're going to show this in user portal. We're going to hit save. We're going to come back over and configure the application. So again, live demo, I'm going to attempt to set up SAML live in front of you. So we are going to first download our certificate, grab that. We're going to come over to our Google Workspace, and we're going to upload our certificate that we just downloaded. We're then going to jump back over. Please don't get sick with all of the bouncing back and forth between windows. We're going to grab our domain that we use over on Google. And finally, we're going to grab our IDP URL. So I'm going to jump back over to Google Workspace, drop in our IDP URL. We have our certificate uploaded. We have our sign out URL, and we are going to hit save. All right, here we're going to jump back over to our application that we just created, and we're going to assign a user group so we can actually get this app to show up in user portal for some users, and we're going to hit save. So now that integration's been created. So let's now say that we have a new user that's starting with our organization, and we know that we need to bring them in from their HR directory. So HR's created this user. We want to bring them in. We have all kinds of different powerful integrations for HR directories that you can bring into JumpCloud. A lot of these will push users in real time from that HR directory into JumpCloud. Alternatively, we also have the ability to have some pre-built integrations that we can set up on the JumpCloud side and then pull those users in, a lot of times on a scheduled basis. However, if any of these aren't quite meeting what you're looking for, or if you need to bring these users in from another application, you can always set up a custom application. And that's cool. My dog decided to jump back down to my screen. So that's awesome. But if you come back over and have a custom application, so in this case, I have my HR directory over here. We can actually import users. So I'm going to bring over this guy who just started with our organization. Cool. Now we've imported Livingston Dell. If you know that reference, let me know in the chat. You get bonus points. But this user is now in JumpCloud. So let's pop over and take a look at that user because we know he's going to be starting in a couple weeks. So we want to make sure that he is able to be productive on his first day. So you see we brought him over in a stage state. So for right now, he doesn't have any access. But we can make sure that on his first day, he has access by scheduling his activation. We're going to put that out a couple Mondays from now. We're going to hit save there. And he is all queued up and ready to be activated in just a couple weeks. However, for the purposes of this demo, let's go ahead and say that we needed to activate him a bit early. We need to activate him today, right now. So it's letting us know he has scheduled activation, but if we need to activate him now, we can totally do that. And we can also send that activation email if we don't think he has access to his company email yet, because JumpCloud manages that Google account. And decide to send this to an email.
Wait. I think the checkbox got unchecked somehow, Trevor.
Yep. Thank you. Great call. There we go. We want to make sure to send that email. So we're going to send that to his personal email, which again, for this purpose is going to be my email. So we sent that activation email. I'm going to pop over. I'm going to grab that email and I'm going to pull it down to the monitor so you can see what's going on. And here it is. So here's this activation email. This just got sent over, and I'm going to open that email. So now I'm this user. It's my first day. I have this activation email. All I got to do is set up my password to get going. Cool. I now have a password. I get logged in. Boom, now I'm in user portal. So you can see I have a couple different applications already populated here, and you probably, maybe, already know what's going on, but if not, there's a little bit of magic here because you notice that I imported that user, I got created, I did pop over to their user aside and schedule an activation and send an activation email. You never saw me bind them to a group. So let's come back to that in a minute. But you're seeing these applications automatically pop up. And again, we'll talk about how that happened. But these applications are here. I have access. It's my first day. AWS is automatically set up. I'm over here in AWS. I can come over here and be productive. I also have Google Workspace. This is that Google Workspace integration that you saw me set up with SAML and create with our new app workflow. And I had a cookie from my Google admin session. So let's try that one more time. There we go. This is our email. So this is my brand new email account, again, that I just set up, and I can immediately go in, log into Google with my JumpCloud account. I'm in my email account. I'm ready to go. So all of that is automatically set up for this user. So popping back over to admin portal now. Let's take a look at how some of that magic that we saw happened. If you notice, you saw me bind that DevOps group to that Google integration that we created. That DevOps group has a dynamic group enabled with rules for it. So you saw Derek present this a couple weeks ago. You heard Becky talk about this. So this dynamic group is set up. It's going to read off of their user's job title and department. And if the users match these values, it automatically adds them into this group without the admin having to do anything. This group is bound to a couple different applications. It's bound to Google Workspace. So as soon as that user came into JumpCloud, because their job title and department matched, they automatically got added into that group and had all those applications already provisioned for them. We provisioned them out to Google Workspace. We provisioned them out to AWS. Single sign-on immediately kicked in, and they were able to jump straight to those applications with single sign-on. We took their password over in Google as soon as that user went through the activation email process that you saw me go through. And now, again, they're ready to go and be productive immediately with super minimal interaction from me, the admin. To complete this story here, sadly now it's this user's last day. They've given their notice. They're moving on from the organization, or maybe they're just taking a brief break. But either way, we need to suspend them.
Shortest employee ever.
Yeah, we found out Livingston had some bank heist activity. I did see that someone got the reference in the chat, so at least that'll hit with at least one person in the chat. But we're gonna schedule their suspension. We're gonna hit save. Again, if we needed to do this immediately, we could do that as well here. And now they're suspended. They're not going to have access to user portal, so their user portal is now logged out. They have no ability to log back in. So all their applications that we just saw they were able to get to, since we've said they're suspended, their access is cut off, and now they're ready to start the offboarding process, or they do not have access until we're ready to activate them again. And that kind of completes the story. Just to show you a little bit of that kind of magic we've been talking about, what was in the demo that you saw earlier from Alexa, with Mark the IT guy, happening in real time. In about 10 minutes, we can kind of go through the entire process of getting applications set up, Google Workspace set up, and that user able to be onboarded and productive on their first day. So let me know if you have any questions.
So it looks like Kelly is saying, I'd love to see a practical demo of JumpCloud and an HRIS platform, as opposed to just explaining.
So the configuring of, is that a request?
Yeah.
Make that happen.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
not today, but that's absolutely. What's interesting with HRIS is there are a couple of different ways that we can integrate. So I think, as Trevor mentioned, like if you're looking at Bamboo or HiBob, those are configurations that'll take place within those HR systems. And then it's kind of like they push users to JumpCloud's APIs. And the example that Trevor had is more of a pull, so to speak, where we are performing an import. We're going in and knocking on the door of the HR system saying, what users do you have available? And then allowing admins to bring in the ones that they'd like. So yeah, I mean, we can get, that's one of Sam Morgan's spaces. And so we can get her to dive deep. I think that'd be a great topic.
Yeah, for sure. And the HR app that you saw me import that user from, so that was a custom SCIM integration that I'd set up ahead of time. So even if your HR directory doesn't support real-time sync, if they support SCIM, or even if they have a REST API that you have a token to, or an OAuth, or they support OAuth, you can go set that up ahead of time and be able to import users directly from that application. But like Lindsey said, we also, of course, have the ability to set it up on the HR directory side within Bamboo applications like that, and super easy with your API key to be able to push users in real time down the JumpCloud as well.
ADP is coming. I know. ADP, just so you know what's on our radar, ADP is on our radar, Ceridian. Those two are in the works, and we're hoping to get them out this year. We do hear asks for like UKG, and sometimes people would like an improved Workday connector because that's quite old. So I'm just going to plug in here. make feature requests for specific HR systems. If you have one that you're not seeing in our catalog or hearing that we're thinking about, because we're interested in which connectors are actually worth us building for you versus having just that generic option. So how are we doing on time? I know we have some fun facts, but I don't know, Becky.
Yeah, we've got 15 minutes. I mean, we have a little bit of news, but we have some time to go into that if you want to.
Well, please share again real quickly. So there we go. So we've got 885 SSO apps. And when we say SSO apps, those are those pre-built applications, SAML and OIDC support in terms of protocols. If you've messed around in our catalog, you've probably noticed that volume, and that does continue to grow, and we always want to have our generic options be strong. I heard, and I think there's some great feedback about wanting to be able to tweak those pre-built integrations. Hear you. And we also have, of those 885 pre-built SSO configurations, 121 of them come with identity management already pre-configured on them. So one thing that what Trevor shared today, that new selection flow is the first part of a series of improvements that we'd like to make to our integrations. Today, one of the things that can be confusing is if you have an SSO application and you click over on that identity management tab, if it's a pre-built, it's usually just going to be asking you for a token of some sort. If we don't have pre-configured SCIM or REST identity management integration, what you're seeing instead is a generic configuration option. So sometimes SPs will release support and we haven't caught up to them, and we don't want to block you from being able to add that to an existing app. So I just wanted to call that out. And I kind of blew through that. And Trevor found these stats, so I'll let Trevor share.
Yeah. Please enjoy these fun facts. It took me entirely too long to get the SQL run last night to be able to pull these from our data warehouse. Since we started tracking back in late 2019, we have done almost 181 million SSO authentications. So think about that. That's 181 million times that a user did not have to go type a password in, have a chance to remember yet another password to another application. They just signed right into the application. And like Becky mentioned, with JumpCloud Go coming, that single sign-on is going to get even smoother and even faster. So those 181 million SSO authentications that we've done should, again, just have that time cut even further down by having JumpCloud Go and be even that much safer. So.
And there we go. I think this is our last one.
Cool. And since we have had identity management, we have provisioned, we've created 614,000 users and downstream applications. So this isn't even including updates or deletes or anything like that. This is just creation. So we've created over 614,000 different users and different applications.
All right.
Impressive.
So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. But thank you for letting us show that off. Exciting stuff for us to evolve this space. I think it's kind of.
When you first started sharing, I was going to say, we don't quite have time to go through 880 fun facts, but I'm glad it wasn't that. So yeah, those are awesome. Thank you guys very much. We have a few things in IT news. The first one of which, if you haven't seen already, there is a clickless 0-day image processing vulnerability in iOS and Mac OS, and you need to be patching that like right now. So please go check that out. Go be doing that. We're already pushing it to our stuff. Like I said earlier, I was going ahead and doing mine on my computer around 10:30 or 10:45 and crossing my fingers going, I don't think this is going to take too long and I will be able to log back in before the show. And yeah, so please go do that. It's really important. It's all over all of the IT news places. Um, they Apple released updates for basically everything. It's a flaw that can be used to install malware via a maliciously crafted image or attachment, and it's clickless, so it's pretty easy to push out. It's dubbed Blast Pass is one thing that it's being called right now. So please go take a look and get that out to your folks right away. In other news, Google is enabling Chrome real-time phishing protection for everyone. Google announced that they're deprecating the standard Google Chrome safe browsing feature and moving everyone to its enhanced safe browsing feature in the coming weeks, bringing real-time phishing protection to all users while browsing the web. It's doing this as the locally hosted safe browsing list is only updated every 30 to 60 minutes, but 60% of all phishing domains last only 10 minutes. So it creates a significant time gap and leaves people unprotected from new malicious URLs. So they're doing some more real-time stuff. More stuff. Microsoft says it will take the heat if Copilot AI commercial users get sued. This is interesting. Microsoft is telling customers it will assume legal responsibility if they get sued for copyright infringement while using their AI Copilot services. Microsoft said it chose this path for 3 reasons. It wants to stand behind customers when using its services. It understands the concern of copyright holders, and it has built guardrails against the possibility of results infringing on copyrighted material. Very interesting. So Google will now be getting all the information for everyone's web requests, Brandon says. That could be interesting if they're going to filter through like that. Privacy concerns, privacy versus protection. Apple and Microsoft are challenging the regulatory scope of the EU's Digital Markets Act. So this legislation is set to target large companies called gatekeepers that provide core platform services and are most likely to enact unfair business practices. However, Microsoft has argued that Bing should not be subject to the same regulatory obligations as its rival Google, according to a report by the Financial Times, as Bing has only around a 3% market share, and under the obligations placed on platforms by the DMA, Microsoft would be required to give users the choice of other search engines, which the company argues could offer a further boost in market share for Google. Apple has separately argued that iMessage does not meet the 45 million active monthly user threshold to be designated a gatekeeper and therefore should also not be subject to the legislation. Apple hasn't published official figures regarding the number of iMessage users for several years, but as the chat feature comes pre-built into every iPhone, iPad, and iMac, it could have as many as 1 billion global users. I don't know. Does anyone who has an iPhone not use iMessage for their texting? I guess people could use WhatsApp or Messenger or other stuff. I don't know. Anybody? Charles says it's not a competition. I know you all were talking about the other thing. All right. Dropbox is dropping unlimited storage and blames crypto miners. They're no longer offering new customers unlimited cloud storage because crypto miners and other, as Gizmodo says, dastardly individuals pulled or resold storage space. Now none of us can have nice things. The company said the unlimited plan was originally geared for companies working in a shared space, and Dropbox complained that folks were pooling their unlimited storage together for personal use cases, while others were reselling storage to other people. At the same time, the company pointed its crooked finger at Chia, a cryptocurrency that uses a unique kind of mining apparatus dependent upon storage space. So they cut it. Over the last few years, Google has taken steps to end unlimited photo cloud storage and move to a kind of pooled storage model for business accounts. So they're not the only one. Womp womp. There are still people afraid. Becca's saying there are still people afraid of Apple's cloud. That's what my customers would say when I worked there. Yeah. I I go back on certain things being stored in the cloud. I don't personally I don't use cloud stuff for my tax returns. That's probably one of the few things that I keep locally stored. I'll do my photos, but I don't like doing my tax returns stored in the cloud. Rob says, can we just put all the miners into the largest trebuchet and launch them into orbit? Then maybe NVIDIA will make their GPU prices reasonable again. Maybe so. Oh, CISA has put out a multiple nation state threat actors exploit notice. So if you all do not look at the CISA site once in a while, I recommend. I keep an eye on it so I can pull anything of import. They don't put things out terribly frequently, but this one, it's might be a little obscure, but there are a couple of 9.8 critical CVEs that they are pointing out. Analysts confirmed that nation-state advanced persistent threat actors exploited CVE 2022-47966. This one was a 9.8 critical. This was to gain unauthorized access to a public-facing application, Zoho Manage Engine Service Desk Plus. So this is multiple Zoho Manage Engine on-premise products, such as Service Desk Plus, allow remote code execution due to use of Apache XML So that's one of them. They use that to establish persistence and move laterally through the network. The other one was CVE 2022-42475, also a 9.8 critical. They were using that to establish presence on an organization's firewall device. This was Fortinet, a heap-based buffer overflow vulnerability in 40 OS SSL VPN 7.20 through 7.2.2. So if you are using FortiProxy or anything like that, then and Zoho, Service Desk, any of those, then you should be going and taking a look at those just to be safe. And last one, if you are using IBM Cloud by any chance, there's some price hikes coming in 2024. January 2024 will affect IaaS and PaaS services. Cloud services costs up by 26% in January 2024. Will affect infrastructure as a service and platform as a service offerings, but it looks like international customers are going to hit a steeper price hike than US peers. It includes Kubernetes, Red Hat OpenShift, all security services, all cloud database offerings, including Message Hub, Cloudant, and SQL query services. So heads up if you use any of those. Yeah, you're right, Rob. That CISA title just rolls off the tongue. You like how I did that? We used to do a lot more of those CVEs because they were just so fun to say. CVE 2022-2023 50649275168. So yeah, we used to just do those all the time. If you want us to do more of those, we certainly can. I usually just have been pulling the ones that tend to jump out as big ones. But again, we could go back to doing more of those. If you all want those, please say something in the chat if you like it. If you don't, if you like the alphabet soup, we could do it. All right. Talk about relevant. Oh, Rob, you just moved your company off Zoho last week. Ooh, that's good. Actually, some of these were back from 2022, so they've been out there for a while. So it's a good thing that you did move off of that. So CVE, all the twos. Yeah. So that was all of the news, and it looks like we finished just in time anyway, because we're out of time. We're in overtime. So thank you all for joining us. Remember, any suggestions in the IT hour in Slack, because we are open to those, let us know. Lindsey and Trevor, thank you for coming. We were glad to have you. Alexa, thanks for coming back. Good thing you were here, because we were glad to have you pinch hit, since wherever she was, she's over there with a very sad face because of all the, we're going to have to work out the Crowdcast issues with her account and why she couldn't get in. So thanks for joining us, you all. We will see you next week. And next week, we are going to talk about SME IT trends. Chase is going to be with us and talk about our quarterly survey. I think it's quarterly. Correct me, Alexa. Survey, and talk about what you all are telling us is going on out in the industry. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you all next week. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye all.